Okay, I told you implants aren't lifetime devices. There's so many things I feel like I could tell you about implants right now, and I'm trying to be so good about my time and your time, because I know the longer this goes, the less effective it's going to be, and you're going to think I'm just droning on. I'm going to let you see my boobs. Seems super weird, right? Here it is. Here is my right implant. Are you weirded out? I'm a little weirded out that I'm showing you this. This is 500 cc's, which is what they refer to it, of gummy bear implants. What you can't see on your side of the screen, and why I have gloves on for a reason. Mine came home in their own little house. These are so oily. It's like they're like a sticky, oily. I wish you could see it. I really do, because I feel like this would really drive at home. Like they have this, like this eyelid smell. Actually makes me gag. It's pretty gross. And on the bottom of the implant and the top of the implant, like they should feel the same. The top part of my implant is pretty thick. Like it feels like you would if you went into a plastic surgeon's office, you felt. So you can feel like this shell's thick. The bottom of my implant here is so thin. I wish I could show this to you better. It is so thin that I feel like if I pulled it, it would pull apart, okay? What does that tell me? Other than the fact that, like, A, I'm too scared to touch this with my bare hands. B, this has been professionally cleaned by my surgeon, and it is, it is oily. Like, it is so gross. There's not enough words to tell you how gross this is. What do I think when I see this? I know that because of the different thicknesses and because of my blood work, I have heavy metal poisoning. What do I know? I know there's 40 different chemicals sitting just in this shell. That has nothing to do with what's inside this shell, but aluminum and platinum and epoxy are all sitting in here. And now because this is thicker than this, what do I know? I know because of my blood work that this is actually in this. That I've poisoned myself because my body was fighting so hard for me, it was breaking this down inside my body. And that's disgusting. It is so gross to think that, anybody can say, I'm going to put this back, anybody can say, I eat organic, I eat healthy, I exercise every day, my new favorite is like, we don't use chemicals to clean my house, but you have 40 different chemicals sitting on your major organs. That says something, you guys. That says something. And for me, I'm so glad that woke me up. I'm so glad that those are sitting there and they're not sitting here anymore. Because for the first time in 6 years, besides the fact that I don't have that sitting in my body, I don't feel like a cyborg. Like I feel like me again for the first time in 6 years. And it's so crazy that I had to go through these. I had to take these steps to feel like me again. And I'll be honest, I know what it's like to feel like that woman that we're not happy with what we look like. I get it. I had 2 kids. I know what it's like to look in the mirror and to be like, God, they friggin' ruined me. Oh God, we love those little people, but men will never understand what it's like to be a woman and have your body completely blown apart in more ways than one. And I know what it's like to look in the mirror and not be happy with myself. I know what it's like to feel empty, or to feel, if my breasts were just a little bit bigger, if they were just a little bit fuller, if I could put on that strapless dress and not have to fiddle with my bra all damn night, or dang, I nursed 2 kids and now they don't look the same. Of course they don't look the same, you guys. Of course they don't. Our bodies were created to have kids. And it's so easy these days to get caught up in the vanity, to get caught up in the, I want to look youthful and I don't want wrinkles, and so I'm going to Botox this, and I don't want muffin tops, so I'm going to nip that, and my breasts are smaller and they're saggier, so I'm going to put new ones in. I get that mentality. I've been there, and what have I learned? I have a 9-year-old little girl, and she is stunning, and I know that I couldn't continue to look her in the face and tell her to accept her body for the way it is, for the way God made her body, and that she is stunning, when I couldn't accept my own, when my own body was betraying me because of the injustice I did it. I couldn't do it anymore. And I feel like it is such a sham. It is such a sham to tell our little girls that God made you perfect. He made you perfect. But we weren't happy enough with ourselves, so we had to change it. And I mean, there's so many things that we can do besides putting chemicals in our body. There are so many options nowadays, like to fix yourself if you need that self-esteem boost. I know a few weeks before my surgery, being totally honest, my husband and I were bickering about something, and it was probably a little bit more than bickering. And I remember I was so upset. I was so upset about this fight that we were having. And in fact, I think it had to do with breast implants and how sick I was. And he had to, and he looked me in the eye and he said, I wish we could go back in time. I wish that, I know I never asked you to get them, but I also wasn't your biggest cheerleader to beg you not to. I didn't tell you that you were perfect without them. And that's one of his biggest regrets, is that he feels like he let me down. And he didn't. This was a choice I made all on my own. But now you've seen it. I beg you, before you consider putting implants in, please understand the repercussions of your decision. And it's not just health. It is not just your health. This is the mental health of your children. We tell our kids that they're beautiful and they should be happy the way that God made them. I also have a little boy. And I pray to God that he doesn't see that as beautiful. That in the society that we live in today, that is so over-sexualized, that the teens are watching pornography, and that's what boys think are attractive. That's what's sexy now, is plastic women. I hope that I instill enough values in my son that he will know that women are beautiful and that they don't have to be plastic to be pretty.